Sports Radio 103. All sports, all the time.
Watch me as I dance under the spotlight. Listen to the people screaming out more and more. Cause I create the feeling that keep them coming back. Yeah, I create the feeling that keep them coming back. So captivating when I get it on the floor. Know y'all been patiently waiting. I know you need me, I can feel it. I'm a beast, I'm an animal. I'm that monster in the mirror. The headliner, finisher, I'm the closer, winner. Best when under pressure with seconds left, I show up. If you really want more, scream it out louder. Hit it on the floor, bring out the fire and light it up, take it up higher. Gonna push it to the limit, get it more. Scream it out louder.
Welcome everybody, Wednesday, WEDNESDAY. Of course, that's the day after Tuesday and the day before Wednesday. What can I say? It's a beautiful day outside, according to the weatherman. Mostly sunny with a few isolated showers in the area. Nevertheless, we're talking sports here at Sports Radio 103. My engineer extraordinaire, Rashad, of course, behind the controls. Good evening and top of the evening to you, Rashad. As always, man, good to see you. Now, guys, today's show, we're going to talk some local stuff, of course, from softball to basketball to baseball. Also got some golf news for you. Speaking of golf news, the Bahamas Golf Federation President Mr. James Gomez is in studio with us, and we're going to talk about some golf. Golf has been downplayed here in the country, especially here in New Providence, for a little bit. So we're going to get a chance to speak with Mr. Gomez and find out what's up with golf. Mr. Gomez, top of the evening to you, and welcome to Sports Radio 103. Yeah, go ahead. You nothing's coming through your headset. That's fine. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
Top of the evening to you, man.
Yes, good evening.
All right. So, being the president of the federation, I know you guys are challenged with a couple of things as it relates to golf right now. I had a chance to speak with a very popular golfer a few days ago, and he said to me, he said, boy, Showtime, we don't have the venue no more. It ain't like we could pick up a golf club on Saturday mornings like we used to anymore, because you don't have the Cable Beach golf course like they normally would play on. Then of course when they talk about Paradise Island, they talk about the restrictions and the amount of money it'll take to play on Paradise Island, and how it's almost like it's taken away from the local golfers. Mr. Gomez, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, there are a couple of things that are going on, and on both sides, that we need to appreciate. One, most of the golf courses on the island of New Providence, all of the golf courses on the island of New Providence are private.
Okay.
They're privately owned, and they are essentially golf clubs.
Okay.
So obviously there's a cost associated with that, and it's a members club.
Okay.
For the local golfer, he's not looking to become a member, but more so just to play golf on weekends, come in and out. But on the other side, too, I think as golf developed in the Bahamas over the years, in terms of access to golf courses, Bahamians always wanted, and should have, mind you, an affordable rate to play golf in the Bahamas.
Yes.
Because you're at home. If you go to most of the golf courses throughout the Caribbean, or some of the Caribbean countries, most of them, they have municipal golf course where locals can play at affordable rates. Unfortunately, right, the Bahamas is a very expensive destination.
It is.
The cost to play golf, if you had the cost of around $25 or $30 to play around some years ago, those days are gone.
Long gone.
Because the cost, obviously drives, the rate, the maintenance costs.
Exactly.
All the other things that come along with maintaining a golf course. And so it has been especially difficult for the local golfer who don't have access to that lump sum of cash to become a summer member at one of the private golf courses, or to become a member. Even more so difficult because they really don't have access and they can't afford it. And so that's the challenge that we have with respect to Gulf access here in the Bahamas.
Okay, so what is the Federation doing as it relates to the challenge of not having the facilities available?
Well, a couple of things. The Federation, on an ongoing basis, try to negotiate rates for its members. We would get normally the $70 rate or the $80 rate, but a lot of golfers don't like that rate.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, it's
yeah.
difficult to get that rate. Anyway here to get it less than that anyway here on the island of the Providence.
Yeah.
If you look at Grand Bahama, where you have a bigger island, the golf courses there, you're going to pay about $50 to play. The Gulf Federation, we negotiated a rate on the island of Grand Bahama. I think off the top of my head, it's around $30 to $35 a round.
Okay.
However, you must be a member of the Bahamas Gulf Federation. But here again, you have to look at economics.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to travel from New Providence? Ticket cost is going to be, say, $140, $150 to go to Grand Bahama just to play golf for $35.
Yeah.
Then if you have the opportunity to play here for $70, $80,
You might as well play here.
Just as well play here.
Yeah. Okay, folks, those of you who just joined us, Ivan Showtime, we're talking sports. We just got started, by the way. The phone lines are open, 6764153, 6764199. Also have the insider who decided to bless us with his presence today. He's hanging out with us today. And, of course, Insider, I know golf has been one of the sport that you've dabbled in a little bit, so to speak, in the years gone by. You still playing golf consistently now?
No, like he said, it is pretty expensive to play.
But see, golf is...
I just marvel the people that plays
golf
amateur here in the Bahamas or just play it as a game. But you have some guys that actually now taking part in getting the Blue Hill golf field in order to play locally, and it's beautiful down there. It's whoever is in charge of doing it and putting it together, it's a tremendous job they're doing that down there at the Blue Hill playing field in the back of National Insurance. It's real beautiful because they have the water and the lakes and the falls cut in it, and so it's real beautiful. And so I think more amateurs or people who would like to play golf for a less fee will now probably have the opportunity to go and hit and learn to putt and whatever down there.
Yes, it certainly would be a good starting grounds for that person who wants to learn the game. In addition to those persons who would like to continue to hone their skills, to go out and practice and play. It's a 9-hole golf course, and it's something that at par 3 you might the plan is to have a couple of par 4s, but for the most part, you're going to have to walk. Bahamians, they still eating a lot of peas and rice, macaroni, and the rest of that, and they don't like to walk. They want to ride the golf.
They want to ride the golf course.
Yeah.
Mr. President, let me just ask you this now. We've been for years with challenges with our various sport. Basketball had a downturn. Baseball, at one point, they had a downturn as well, and it's beginning to build up now for the past few years. We see where soccer, what we call football, has been, trying to revive and get to that level. Let's talk a little bit about golf and where golf is today, and what are the things that the Federation anticipate as it relates to golf in the future?
Well, certainly, even though it has been a challenge in terms of access to golf courses, we have seen over the last 2 to 3 years, really, significant improvement.
Okay.
In the junior program in terms of their performance in the regional tournaments. And this year, the Bahamas was commended by the Caribbean Gulf Association president for its performance this year. And more importantly, he highlighted the fact that because of what he knew a couple years ago where the Bahamas was and how they developed up to this point. You know, he said,
Great
we
potential.
ought to be commended.
Yeah.
And so people are being exposed. One of the key things for golf, and that we encourage through our junior program, is when parents, they go on vacation during the summers, that they try to fit in golf for their youngster as a family thing. So those persons who are interested in golf, they will continue to develop their games while they are away on vacation.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Now, as it relates to the Gulf Federation, you guys have a yearly calendar. Tell us about some of the events that you'll have on the calendar as far as the golf tournaments are concerned.
Well, for this year, we have completed for the most part, not for the most part, but we have completed just recently the Caribbean regional tournaments for the juniors and seniors. So that is done.
Yeah.
But upcoming next month, which is next Friday, by the way, we have a tournament at the Life at Key Club.
Okay.
Two-man best ball. And
Two-man best ball?
Yes, two-man best ball.
That's unusual. I never heard about that one before. Tell us what all that entails.
Each person, you must play your own ball, and the best score counts. Okay. And so, if you score a 5 and I score a 4, we put a 4 down as the score for our team. And so it's a two-man best ball tournament.
Okay.
And in October, we have a tournament scheduled for Grand Bahama, the second week in October.
Yeah.
And our final tournament for the year, and to bring us to the end of our administrative term, is a tournament that we traditionally have every year to honor Fred Higgs. Fred Higgs's contribution to the development of golf in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And so we're going to have the Fred Higgs Kersner Corporate Challenge.
Oh, okay.
Which will be in the first week in November.
And that's going to be on Paradise Island.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, let's talk about some of the golfers nowadays that we have, outstanding golfers, that is. I remembered years gone by, I could have associated with some of the golfers like the Nine Rolls, of course, Dr. Francis Adley, but nowadays
the Flo Sanders.
Oh, by the way, the Flo Sanders. But nowadays there are not much names that can just come to me as it relates to outstanding golfers. Give us an idea as to how that feel.
Well, we have a lot of outstanding golfers on the amateur and the those who have turned professional. On the amateur level, and I'll start with the juniors. We have the likes of Lucas Echeverry, who is extremely good. You have a young chap out of Grand Bahama, Asif Robinson. And then you have another Robinson young man. His father was one of the managers at the Ruby Golf Course. He's also Robinson, extremely good golfer. And as a matter of fact, I want to just highlight something regarding this young man. I recall, his father wanted him to participate on the national team. And we said, listen, you have to be, there's a minimum age. And he wanted from 7, he wanted his son to participate. But we say, no, the rules call for 11. And he fought it, and he failed. We just couldn't put him on. But when we got him on the team, when he qualified, he reached the required age. I mean, his commitment to the game. If you see it, you need to come and see it and understand it.
What it's about.
The problem is now in the Bahamas is that in the media, like yourselves, you tend to give more coverage to track and field. Those sports that people find,
that flashy type of
the most eye-catching
thing. And golf is a bit slow. And that's the key thing there for us, right? And so on the junior side, we have quite a bit of junior golfers. Like I said, Lucas Echeverry. You have the Robinson chaps out of Grand Bahama. You have a young lady here by the name of Anicia Roll, who's doing exceptionally well. And a few others. But and then you have Craig Gomez, who is a junior, who is developing his game significantly as well. On the
International.
No, in the June.
profession-
The senior amateurs.
Okay, okay.
We have a number of golfers, quite a bit of golfers who you will find can play relatively scratch golf.
So you-
connect close to scratch. So,
Yeah.
so for instance, the minister of labor and immigration, he's a very good golfer.
Good golfer.
You have the people like
You're talking Shane Gibson.
yes.
Yeah, Shane Gibson have been golfing for a long time. I thought that Shane Gibson.
I think he grew up around.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
remember one time he used to play golf with Michael Jordan and those guys. He must have learned something from Michael Jordan. I mean, I understand Michael Jordan is not that good of a golf player, but he just liked the game.
Oh, but perhaps he might have turned Michael into nurtured him into what he is today now
Today,
on the
yeah.
golf course.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So, do you guys have like a ranking, so to speak? Like, who's the number one Bahamian senior amateur golfer? Does any tournament distinctively?
Yes.
Okay, so who's the number one?
Right. This year, you have the likes of Peter McIntosh, who originally from Abaco. He lives in New Providence.
Okay.
A scratch golfer.
Okay.
He was the amateur champion this year.
What's the name of the gentleman who runs the food store there in the Grove there? Sensible Food Market.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He should be on the top rankings, man. 'cause-
Well, he's a low handicapper. He's a single-digit handicapper, and you understand how that works, right?
Yeah, indeed,
right.
indeed.
Yeah, so he's a single-digit handicapper. You're talking about Horace Miller.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Horace Miller, top of the evening to you, man. I
Yeah.
gotta send him a shout.
Peter McIntosh is the little short dark guy from Cooperstown, eh?
Yeah, he's from
Yeah.
Cooperstown. Yeah.
So now,
I know.
as good as these golfers are, where do they go to fine tune their games? Mostly, because we talk about the shortage of the various golf courses. Whether they happen to travel, like Alvy Penn is telling me sometimes he have to go to, not say have to, but he tend to go to Abaco or Grand Bahama to play a couple of rounds of golf. I mean, obviously they can afford it, but if a local here in New Providence to work on his game, where would be the place that he would normally go? You guys like
Well,
Key?
first of all, let me say this, right? Alvy is my friend, but don't use him as an example. He needs a lot of practice.
Alvy Penn?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No,
yeah,
man, that's
yeah,
not the
yeah.
last I heard of Alvy Penn. Alvy Penn said, I said, Alvy,
Yeah,
I saw how
and-
your golf game going. He said, man, still damn, you know me, man. I'm dealing with him.
Oh, he talks a good game.
Oh yeah.
He
But
talks a good game.
Now he's not as good as my buddy on Centerville.
Oh no.
No,
No.
Oh, I thought Alvy was like
Like
Alvy
a-
Penn.
like-
Anyway, well, that's my good buddy. That's my good buddy. Man.
Yeah. No, that's my good friend too. So I
Yeah.
could take a stab at him.
Yeah. Okay.
But most of the golfers really, what they do, whenever they get the opportunity to play local,
Yeah.
they play local. You have some golfers who are members, summer members, and a significant number of Bahamians are summer members
Yeah.
at the Ocean Club,
Yeah.
and you have some Bahamians also are summer members at Life at Key Golf Course. So they play locally, and then you have certain groups who would travel to on a group annual type trip.
Okay, let me. I know we do to go to a break, but let me just ask you this. Of course, you could probably answer this question when we come back from the break, because I guess you'll probably be with us for the next maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
But
Yes.
think about this question now. The thing is, what I really want to ask is that when we talk about golf here in New Providence, how far have you guys gone in order to get a golf facility that is designed for amateur golfers, not Paradise Island, not Life and Key, not South Ocean, but just for the local amateur golfers, that they could come out on any given day. It ain't about all the high price and everything else. It's like a golf course is there mainly just for local Bahamians. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay up close, everybody. Ivan Showtime, Talking Sports. We'll take a break and be back after this.
Watch me as I dance under the spotlight. Listen to the people screaming out more and more. Cause I create the feeling that keep them coming back. Yeah, I create the feeling that keep them coming back. So captivating when I get it on the floor. Know y'all been patiently waiting.
I know back, everybody. Ivan Showtime. I got the inside in studio with me, and of course, the president of the Bahamas Golf Federation, and the likes of James Gomez in studio with us, and we're talking golf for the first portion of the show. And prior to us going to break, Mr. Gomez, we talk about the facilities as it relates to golf here in the country. And one of the turnoffs that I got from most of the golfers out there is that Showtime, I don't play golf as much as I used to no more because of the facilities. And of course, they talk about having sometimes to travel different places to kind of keep up with the game and all that. So, what are you guys doing as far as the federation goes in respect to, maybe kind of twisting some people's hands and tell them, listen, man, we need some facilities, man, if we want to see the sport to grow?
Yes. Just before I answer that question, right, because you asked a question during the break about Alvy Penn and Horace Miller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to, because I want that to be absolutely clear that Alvy cannot beat Horace Miller. In fact, they are in different classes.
They're different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Far apart.
Far apart.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear.
Okay.
As far as, go ahead.
See, because I was under the impression, of course, knowing Alvy Penn for such a long time, that golf used to be Alvy's Penn pastime. He loved golf. I mean, this guy is in love with golf, and that's been years ago. Yeah. So I figured by now he probably the number one golfer in the Bahamas with all the time that he spent on the golf course.
Oh, don't worry about that. Some fellas like to talk.
Yeah, but Miller can play. He can play.
Yeah. Miller's a good player. So I just want to make a special note of that.
Yeah, okay.
So
but Alvy is my personal friend, man. If it comes down to it, I'm gonna go with Alvy.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah. I'm gonna take the handicap and go with Alvy, regardless of what happens. It's like a Tiger Wood.
Really?
Fellas say, boy, it's Showtime, Tiger in trouble. That's all right. I can still go with Tiger. I think he's gonna find a way to pull it out. Yeah.
And you'll go with Alvy.
Yeah.
Yes. As far as the Bahamas Golf Federation is concerned, over the years, the Bahamas Golf Federation made several attempts to develop and to operate its own facility. At one point, there was a proposal put to the government for the Bonefish Pond golf course and that area. But of course, you have parties interested. Other parties who have another interest, they spoke out against that.
Yeah, so that didn't pan out.
That didn't materialize. And then, of course, the old Coral Harbor Golf Course, an effort was made.
That's the South Ocean Golf Course you're talking about?
No, in Coral Harbor.
Oh, Coral Harbor now has another golf course other than the South Ocean?
Yeah, used to Coral Harbor itself, not South Ocean.
18 holes?
Yes, 18 holes. It's no longer operational, right?
Yeah.
But the owner of the land a couple of years ago when I took over as president, the persons representing the owner of the property there spoke to us about the possibility of operating the golf course there. Obviously, that didn't materialize simply because the owner decided that he wanted to do something else.
That's what
right? Or the estate of the owner. In recent years, we were successful in signing a lease with the owners of the South Ocean Golf Course, and to operate the South Ocean Golf Course for 2 years and renewable after. So
that's you guys are still playing on there?
No, we're not playing out there. You remember they had a dispute, and then once that had been resolved, we were invited to lease the golf course out there and operate it until such time they were able to locate a buyer. So it was a renewable transaction where every year, we would every 2-year period it would be renewed for an additional 2-year period. That didn't materialize. That happened about a year and a half ago, and we were all excited about it.
So, is there anything in the pipeline right now? I know about the Yellow Elder golf course. That I understood that Mr. Flowers is basically responsible for repairing it and fixing it up the way it is. And I must say, I had a chance to look at it, and it looks pretty good. good. It's not 18 holes though.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
no, it's not. And see, golf has developed into a sport now, right? And then most of the holes are par threes.
Yeah.
But when you trying to develop the game, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the youngsters, they want to be able to stand up on that tee and hit a driver. They want to be able to, as we would say in golf, ring it. They want to ring the driver.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of that going on, and so they see that part of the golf and sport that they want to really explore.
Yeah.
Most persons who come out there for the first time, they want to be able to see how far
they can hit it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, guys, 676-4153, 676-4199. Those are the numbers. We're here with the President, James Gomez, and we're talking golf for the next few minutes. So how long you say you're going to stay with us? Until 7? You did say? No, just messing with
Probably
you.
another 20 minutes.
Yeah, okay, but I'm glad that you took the time out and stopped by, because golf has been one of the sport that we didn't get too much people in studio to talk about golf the way we wanted to. And, we say, hey, what's happening in golf? We haven't heard anything from the Golf Federation, and we know every now and again you guys put on various tournaments and whatever have you. But as far as keeping us abreast and finding out the different tournaments that you guys have throughout the year, the different trips, because I know sometimes you guys will go internationally and play in those various tournaments abroad. But it's good to see that you took the initiative to come by, of course, and kind of enlighten us and let us know what's going on in the world of in golf. I shouldn't say the world of golf, but in golf here, and especially in New Providence, because I think talking to most of the golfers out there, it's been a challenge to consistently play golf because of the facilities. So I have no idea as to how much longer this will be like this. Of course, you being the president, you guys may have something that you're working on, or you want to maybe try to get together for the next in the next year or two, where you'll have more people being involved because there's more facilities available.
Well, one of the things I'd say to you is that this whole thing, this whole dilemma that we see ourselves in now, was, for the most part, brought about simply by the closure of the Cable Beach Golf Course.
Okay.
And as you know, they are scheduled to reopen that facility probably in the next 14 months or thereabout. And so it is our hope, in our discussions with them, that we understand that they can't guarantee a golf rate, because
that's another thing too.
It's different. I mean, when I say guarantee a golf rate, not guarantee a golf rate as of today, but our job would be to negotiate a rate that is favorable for Bahamians.
Yeah. I think, and again, I think that's going to be the challenge for the golfers.
Yes, certainly.
Because
yes.
they're getting ready now to go to that level where it's considered to be first class.
Yeah, well, the other part of it as well that you need to understand is that you have Junior Olympics and you have the Olympics, right? The golf is now an Olympic sport. Okay, 2016, golf will supposed to become an Olympic sport. So if we want to participate at the level, we need to start now with making sure that our players have the access, so we can prepare ourselves to compete at that level.
Yeah, no doubt. Guys, again, 433-20. Wait a minute. 676-4153. My bad. 676-4153, 676-4199. Those are the numbers. The phone lines are going to be open. Of course, we're going to be here with the President, Mr. Gomez, for a couple of more minutes. Those of you who want to call in and express your concern, whether it's with golf or you've been a part of the Federation or you're a member of some of the golf courses, the golf clubs that we have here, you can give us a call here, 676-4153, 676-4199. Now, inside of you, it's about to...
Yeah, I have some questions, because I hear all of this. I don't know how long you've been the president, but have anybody from any one of the previous government or the present government ever consult with you about giving the Golf Federation a piece of land to develop as its own playing facility, where you can build all of your facilities and we can have the local players, that it wouldn't cost them $1 to just play and participate, even the youngsters, for them to, because you just talk about track and field, you just said that track and field get all the eye, but when you look at it, the most thing in this country when it comes to athlete is basically for track and field. The facilities, the grounds, the track, and we have a new stadium. Baseball doesn't have a new stadium, but they say the government has granted the Baseball Federation a piece of property to do the baseball stadium. The same thing now I'm asking about the Golf Federation. Is the government in contact, or have they been in contact with you as the president, or have you been asking any one of the last two administrators or the one present now about helping the Bahamas Golf Federation with this process right at the moment?
Well, first of all, the Bahamas Golf Federation, just like any of the other federations who are registered with the Ministry of Sports, they have been granted a piece of land within the sporting complex, just like all of the federations have. Okay, so we sit equal to them in terms of grant and access to the property within the sporting complex. If my administration, I think, cross over on both government administrations, and I would say from the offset, I can't say that I'm happy or golfers are happy with the interest expressed by successive governments in the game of golf, and understanding why Bahamians want to play golf. Because, see, for the most part, people perceive golf, oh, you play golf, or you rich. And see, and that's how people perceive golf. But golf is more than that. It teaches discipline to younger people, patience, all these things, and it's a good game. And even more importantly, there are significant scholarships that are available right now to youngsters who pick up the game in the United States at various colleges.
That's why I said to you, that was one of my questions. Mm-hmm. Well, I felt by you making the statement about track and field, I figure either the previous government or this government, by you being the president or all the hard work you're putting in to keep the golfers locally amateur and senior amateur, they would be able to see some interest that there's a look where we gave baseball and softball and track and field, so this is your we're gonna get it started, and then probably you would take it over from here.
Yes. Well, as I said, successive governments, I think, the Federation would have wanted to see more interest in terms of trying to develop a municipal course, just like how our counterparts in the Caribbean nations have a municipal course. That way, you can see ongoing development in the game and the interest being expressed throughout the entire nation where persons want to play golf. We don't have that in the Bahamas. We are a touristic destination, and we focus more towards tourists. So on the island of New Providence, right, outside of those I've mentioned before, like the Bonefish, the Coral Harbor, the South Ocean, there are not many places on New Providence where you will find a piece of property, because most of the golfers, sufficient enough to put a golf course, because most of the golfers in the Bahamas reside on the island of New Providence, perhaps at least 80% of the golfers in the Bahamas. So it's difficult to do that. I think our main focus really is to develop a relationship, as we did in the past with the Cable Beach Golf Course.
Yeah.
And relationships that I guess places like Ocean Club, they have the answer to their members. So it's a balancing act, for them to try and reach some sort of some understanding where they are able to allow local golfers on the golf course at those private clubs.
Yeah. Guys, I think we got a call on the line. Let's take this call real quick. Good evening, Sports Radio. Good evening, Sports Radio. Okay, we may have lost that caller. Guys, 676-415-367-641-99. Those are the numbers. The phone lines are open. And again, like I said, I know some of you out there may be listening in and you may want to call. You had a question or two for the president. Well, feel free. You might have some of your parents out there. Might have kids who want to get your kids involved in golf. Mr. President, is there any golf programs that you could tell us about real quickly?
Well, we have an ongoing junior program. We have every year. They're on recess right now, but they'll start pretty soon. That that program is ongoing also in Grand Bahama. And so most of our junior golfers that you see now who are developing strong games, like I mentioned, Anicia Roll, those persons who they came up through the junior program. And at the senior amateur golfers, you know, you have like the Devon Robinsons, Orrin Butler. All of these persons came up through the junior program, you know, developed by the Bahamas Golf Federation. And way before my time, you know, you had like the Maycock brothers, you have Chris Harris, and a number of other golfers who are very good golfers to this day, who developed their skills through that program.
Okay, guys, 6764153. Mr. President, I know you got to run, but again, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. I was hoping I could get a call in from one of the golfers out there. Maybe Alvy Penn, always listening into Sports Radio 103. Of course, Miller, I don't know if he's listening in, but of course, again, good luck to you guys and continue to do well. And anytime anything starts to happen in golf, you come here to Sports Radio 103 and let us know.
But certainly, and what I will be sure to do going forward, especially with the tournaments coming up, is to make sure that you have all the information beforehand, and also the results of those tournaments, so you will know exactly what is happening.
I want to start following some of these golfers now, because I was under the impression that Alvy Penn was the best we had right now, and now that I understand. Alvy Penn, top of the evening to you. Anyway, Mr. President, appreciate you, man, as always, man.
Good.
Okay, guys, stay close now. We're going to continue to talk some sports.